I am Sierra Leone's ambassador to the United Arab Emirates, accredited to India and Bangladesh. And at the moment, I also serve as the Dean of the Africa Group of Ambassadors in the United Arab Emirates. It's been a very interesting journey with a lot of successes, a lot of experience that I'm always very willing to share at the global platform like I'm having now with you. Promoting bilateral and friendly relationships, promoting trade and investment, influencing policy, seek the interest of your nationals in the host country. Ambassadors make sure that they try to address the fundamental issues that are confronting humanity. I listen a lot and I learn a lot from people by listening and try to talk what I think should be the right thing to do. We can only succeed in addressing global issues today if we decide to come together. As a diplomat, I need to bring people together to listen to them, one, and encourage dialogue, two, and then address the issues that are emanating from those dialogues. If we are able to do that, the world will be a better place for you and I. But at the moment, it's challenging. Rural communities and by extension smallholder communities, they feed the world from a level of poverty to a level of wealth creation, from a level of nothing, to a level wherein they are able to feed themselves. If you are part of that transformation, that journey, positive journey, you feel fulfilled. You feel happy that you are contributing to humanity. And that's what I enjoyed most. I'm happy that at this level, I am still contributing to making the world a better place for you and I. It's to bring them together, all of us, on one platform, to address issues confronting our beloved continent, Africa. We just recently celebrated the Africa Day, which comes up every year on May 25th. All Africa ambassadors coming together, also including other members of the diplomatic corps in the United Arab Emirates, our colleagues, from the continent, to address issues, climate issues, food security issue. We'll have discussions on that, on how to address those, how they are being addressed at the country level, and we can share our experiences from other countries with our countries, other African countries that can also replicate those ideas and solutions and strategies that they're using. We are also promoting peace and security. Thank you very much, Hasina. I'm looking forward. It's been a pleasure talking to you. And I'm looking forward to our program on the 29th of June. We will have opportunity of talking more and exchanging ideas.
Hello and welcome to WGF iTalks. Today we have His Excellency Mr. Rashid Sesay with us. His Excellency Sesay is currently the Ambassador Ambassador Extraordinary and Plenipotentiary of Sierra Leone to the United Arab Emirates, India, and Bangladesh. He is also the Dean of the African Group of Ambassadors in the UAE. Overall, he is an extraordinary person and an extraordinary diplomat carrying extraordinary skills of management. We will explore today various aspects of His Excellency's Sesay's expertise and excellence, his style of working, in which he diplomatically manages with words, people, countries, or regions. We would essentially try to explore the thoughts and workings of a diplomat, all through a session of questions and answers. It's a formal come informal chat where, while exploring various aspects of his professional life, we would explore his personal life at some other opportunity, at some other time. So, hello, Your Excellency, how are you?
I'm fine, Hasina. Thank you very much for having me here.
Thank you. And we have been in touch for quite some time now, and I'm just highly impressed by your personality, your humbleness. Though you are one of the greatest persons from Sierra Leone, and of course by your professionalism and expertise in every minor and major aspect of your current role as the ambassador. So as we move ahead in the conversation, I'm sure our viewers and I would have more reasons to be impressed and inspired with your thoughts and your work. Let's start with the questions now. I would try to paint a canvas for our viewers with several bright and inspiring colors of your highly professional and inspirational life. You never know, someone in some corner of the world may be just waiting for a single ray of hope and inspiration to turn around or transform his or her life. And this interview may serve its purpose. We believe that if we are able to improve even one human being's life, our purpose is served. If we are able to improve more lives, then God has chosen us for a greater purpose. So here is my first question, please. Your Excellency, please tell us about yourself in your own words for our viewers.
Thank you again, Hasina. It's an interesting question. Often comes up when you start a conversation with someone who would be interested in knowing about you. And so I'm not surprised that your first question is about knowing who I am. I am Sierra Leone's ambassador to the United Arab Emirates, accredited to India and Bangladesh. And at the moment, I also serve as the Dean of the Africa Group of Ambassadors in the United Arab Emirates. My journey, started some over 2 decades ago in Sierra Leone, wherein I was working with rural communities in helping them, with livelihood issues. And then that, progressed wherein I was moved on to Ghana in West Africa to serve as regional director, working with smallholder farmers. And then moved beyond that to the United States of America, wherein I worked for Heifer International, that was working with smallholder farmers globally. And my specific portfolio was for Africa and Asia. And then later on in 2018, I was appointed as a Sierra Leone's ambassador to United Arab Emirates. So I moved, from being a grassroots connector, grassroots person working with smallholder farmers to this level of policy engagement with governments and promoting the interest of my government and the government of my host country. So it's been a very interesting journey with a lot of successes, a lot of experience that I'm always very willing to share at the global platform like I'm having now with you.
Oh, wow. Your journey has been quite interesting and very motivational. You're an amazing person, and you talk so softly and sweetly that you can win over anyone. Thank you. And
thank you so much for that.
You're the ambassador of Sierra Leone to the UAE, India, and Bangladesh. That's quite a big and important responsibility. I have always wondered how ambassadors work. So please share with our viewers some specific duties of yours and how do you fulfill them?
I always like to to talk about the role of an ambassador under, I look at four main areas. The first one will be promoting bilateral and friendly relationships between your country and your host country and countries of accreditation. That's primary, role of an ambassador. The second one will be promoting trade and investment between your country and the host country and the countries of accreditation. In our time today, we see a lot of that happening. Countries are interested in trade and investment. So the ambassador is the frontline soldier for the government, in trying to build, nurture and culture that relationship between the country and the host country. So that's very primary for the ambassador. The third one is in the area of policy, influencing policy between the countries that you are representing from. It's very important at this time of global, issues that are coming up, and the role of the ambassador is very important at this stage in influencing those policies, diplomatic policies between your country of accreditation and your country that you're coming from. And then the fourth one that is very critical also is how you try to seek the interest of your nationals in the host country. That is key, for the ambassador. Your nationals are coming, in a region like this. You would agree with me that you have a lot of people coming to UAE, to India, and to Bangladesh, for various reasons, either for trade issues or for employment and that. So that's one of the issues also that is exercising, the activities of the ambassador in the host country. So in a summary, I think about those four as critical, for the ambassador to address at any point in time.
Right. Really great. And diplomacy is probably the most important skill in the world. I think, different and conflicting parts of the world are still able to manage with each other only because of diplomacy. So I understand that you are a connector of people, and whether in development or diplomacy, you thrive by making people feel connected, safe, and valued. And you are not only the anchor for your people in the country where you are posted, in your case as the official representative of Sierra Leone in the UAE, India, and Bangladesh, but you are also the sailor and the captain of all four countries' economic, political, and social interests and policies, as you have to steer the ship of diplomacy, interest, and politics with the wind sometimes and against the wind at other times. How has your experience been so far as a diplomat and an ambassador representing Sierra Leone? How has the wind been?
Today, the role of an ambassador is very critical. What is happening around the world, requires ambassadors to be very active, and not only active, but to make sure that they try to address the fundamental issues that are confronting humanity. And if we are to be able to do that successfully, we need to step up, our skills, our activities, and being a connector. That's a primary function of a diplomat. You try to connect, you try to facilitate, between your country and the host country. So to be able to do that requires you to be a good listener. And I have learned that in this job, I listen a lot, and I learn a lot from people by listening, and try to talk what I think should be the right thing to do. And I say this many times when I engage with my colleague diplomats, with influencers, government representatives at the highest level, that We can only succeed in addressing global issues today if we decide to come together. And the ambassadors have that role to play, to bring all parties together to address global issues. We know what is happening around the world today. Wars around us everywhere, even within your country, there are conflicts. And it's only through diplomacy, dialogue, that is the language for every diplomat, for us to come together and talk about those issues. So I have learned that as a diplomat, I need to bring people together to listen to them, one, and encourage dialogue, two, and then address the issues that are emanating from those dialogues. If we are able to do that, the world will be a better place for you and I. But at the moment, it's challenging.
Right. Very impressive indeed. This interview is important because I feel many of our viewers may not have an idea of how ambassadors from different countries in different parts of the world are taking care of economic, political, and social aspects and interests which have global impact. Before you were posted as an ambassador of Sierra Leone to the UAE, India, and Bangladesh, you worked in different capacities with WGF International, and before that, you dedicated your life to rural development and poverty reduction. In today's high-paced modern world, we forget that to make any national, international, or global positive change that is also sustainable, we must first nourish the roots and improve and strengthen the fabric of our rural society. Please share your first-hand experience with rural development and poverty reduction projects in Sierra Leone or anywhere else in the world. What were your learnings? What could bring better results in any country?
Rural communities, and by extension smallholder communities, they feed the world. They nurture the world. And so they form the majority of any community, of any society. And if that is the case, we need to pay more attention to them for us to be able to survive as humanity. And during those years that I worked with them, I still enjoy and I still reflect on those moments because they bring in special feelings to me, being part of the transformation of rural communities from one level to another level, from a level of poverty to a level of wealth creation, from a level of nothing, to a level wherein they are able to feed themselves. If you are part of that transformation, that journey, positive journey, you feel fulfilled. You feel happy that you are contributing to humanity. And that's what I enjoyed most, during these years. I have moved on from that direct contact with them to the point now. I'm at a point wherein I am more involved in influencing policies for them at that top level. I have no more direct contact with them. I miss that part of my life. Being, with smallholder communities every day, every now and then, sit with them, listen to their issues, and address those issues with them collectively, not talking to them that this is what you should do, this is what you should not do. No, listen to them and learn from them, their experiences. We shouldn't underestimate, the knowledge and the experience of smallholder communities. So that's one thing I miss in my present job, but at the same time, I'm happy that at this level, I am still contributing to making the world a better place for you and I.
Right. Thank you very much for that answer. You have put it so well. And obviously, urban exists because of the rural. Without nourishing the rural roots, the magnificent urban branches of development we see all around would wilt and die. We have, with this answer, we have come to our last question, Your Excellency. You are currently, serving as the dean for the African Group of Ambassadors in the UAE, where you oversee the general coordination of the affairs of the group, among other duties. Can you share what is your role as the dean of the group, and how has your experience been so far?
Serving as dean for the Africa Group of Ambassadors, it's it's a big honor for me among my peers, to serve as the dean. And I do that with humility. It's to bring them together, all of us, one platform, to address issues confronting our beloved continent, Africa. And so to be in that position of coordinating the activities of my colleagues, all of us, is very fulfilling. Recently, I was able to collaboration with all of them to observe the Africa Day, which comes up every year on May 25th. We just recently celebrated that day, and honestly, it came out very successful, wherein you have, all Africa ambassadors coming together, also including other members of the diplomatic corps in the United Arab Emirates, to celebrate that day that our forefathers, thought that Africa, under the concept of Pan-Africanism, should come together to promote, regional integration, peace, security, culture, everything that has to do with Africa, Africa leading, African issues, addressing African issues. And so that day we came together to demonstrate, or to reaffirm the vision of our founding fathers, some 61 years ago. And we did not only do that, we also demonstrated that by showing cultural activities. Many countries had their cultural, displayed on show. We had cultural fabrics, from African countries, African food, cuisine, which is, I'm sure you may have, tried some African cuisine, so we try to showcase all of those on that day. And honestly, it was a very successful one. And I'm honored, that under my leadership, I've been able to do that. We are not just stopping at that. As Dean, I'm encouraging our colleagues, from the continent to address issues, climate issues, food security issue. We'll have discussions on that, on how to address those, how they are being addressed at the country level, and we can share our experiences from other countries with our countries, other African countries that can also replicate those ideas and solutions and strategies that they're using. We are also promoting peace and security, because war in one country, conflict in another, has a tendency of affecting, the peace and security of another country. So we are trying to address all of those under the banner of the Africa Group of Ambassadors in the United Arab Emirates.
Wow, wonderful. It's a great initiative. Very nice. And I think, that's all for today, Your Excellency, because, actually I have a lot of questions I wanted to ask you. I wanted to talk to you about so many other things, but I completely understand, your high level commitments at your supreme level. But I'm sure we will have great conversations when we meet in Dubai on 29 June 2024. And it was great talking to you. Thank you very much for this interview.
Thank you very much, Hasina. I'm looking forward. It's been a pleasure talking to you. And I'm looking forward to our program on the 29th of June. We will have opportunity of talking more and exchanging ideas on critical issues. Thank you.
Thank you. Look forward. Yeah, thank you for this conversation of ours. And I really enjoyed it. You are a highly intelligent and learned person, and I learned so many things from you during this interview, and it was also very inspiring talking to you. Personally, I and the entire team of World Growth Forums wish you all the best in life. I'm sure your vision, your thoughts, and your diplomatic expertise would help Sierra Leone a lot as much as other countries, India, Bangladesh, the UAE, where you're posted. Thank you very much for talking to World Youth Forums. Good day to you.
You're welcome. Thank you. Have a great day.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.